Hey, it's Chronologically Gaming, the only channel that's perpetually retro because we're playing every video game in order of release. Let's see what's brand new in July of 1982. We had last played the very first time you could play the official Donkey Kong at home on the Atari VCS. I first played Donkey Kong after Atari re-released it after 1988, and I was not impressed. I thought it was a load of trash. So seeing Donkey Kong here on the channel, though, has completely changed my perspective. I originally went into this game excited, thinking of all the other games you could have played as a platformer, or all the other games that you could be playing on the Atari, and this is actually, it was alright. I had a good time, and I was having fun with it. I was intending to give this 3.5 stars on the live show, but the last time we played this, after going through all of the artwork and what's on the box and advertisements, I brought it down to 3 stars because of the lies. They kept saying it's exactly like the arcade, sounds like the arcade, has everything on the arcade, on the front of the box is the arcade, and it is not the exact arcade experience. We're going to see developers and publishers keep pushing more and more to get the exact arcade experience at home. This did not meet that, and that's why I had to bring it down a notch, but it still wasn't a bad title. It's pretty cool how everything we've seen so far, it changes the perspective when you think of it actually was all right if you're excited for Donkey Kong. All right, so let's see what our next game is. We are still at home on our Commodore VIC-20 now, playing Gold Rush. This is the Gold Rush that you would have typed in on Compute Magazine, the July 1982 one. This would be the front of the magazine, and if you wanted to type it all in, I'm not going to include all the code, but Gold Rush is by Joseph Weber. Way to go, Joseph. After reading the fascinating article of using the VIC joystick by David Malmberg, he said, let's do this. We have an exciting game for the Atari and the VIC-20. Blast out new caverns, dig the gold, return to the surface for your record. If you run out of dynamite, get to the surface fast or you'll wander the mine forever. And watch out for cave-ins. They can block your exit or worse. So the game gives you one chance to use your joystick, and you have 5 miners to dig, or 5 lives. As you dig, each miner has 10 sticks of dynamite and to blast their way through the mine. You pick up gold, number of pieces is counted and displayed on the screen, number of charges left, gather all that gold, bring it back to the top, and so forth and so forth. They have a little notes about the Atari version, and we'll read that when we get to the Atari one. We have 2 different ways you could have played this. There's an improved one and then the original type-in version. Let's type in and play Gold Rush by Joseph Weber in Compute Magazine at sometime in July 1982. I guess it's whenever you typed it in July. Yes, it is true. I'm with you on that too, Victor, because the lies, it's starting the beginning of why we had this crash in North America. All right, so what do we want to do? We play as that symbol for the miner. The gold is Q, a dead miner is an asterisk, dirt is an ampersand, SA office. All right, fire button to blast. All right, let's do this. They're going to build it up. That's probably what it is, Manly. Let's play some Gold Rush. And it did say there's gold in them thar hills on the magazine ad. It had to. All right, so I'm at the top of the screen displayed right now as a diamond. Did I already die? There already was a cave-in? So the diamond goes around, picks up the gold. The gold is represented by the circles. You have a blast. The charges are really hard to see there in the bottom right. It says I got 9 left. But you blast your way around, pick up as much gold as you can, and when you're ready to cash in, you go to the top, back where the heart is, cash in at them gold and get some more charges, and then just keep going. So the whole idea is it's ultimate collect-a-thon. Collect all the gold you can, blast passages through. This, I wouldn't say, is based on anything from Dig Dug or the other digging games we've seen, like the Pit and the arcade. This seems like its own property. This is also way before we're going to see anything remotely close to Boulder Dash, which will be a huge hit years later. But you can kind of see the idea. We're still digging around. And in a way, this reminds me of a improved version of Miner that we saw on Commodore PET. But very, very simple. Go around, pick everything up. But the idea is the more blasts you do or moving around the mines will cause cave-ins. So it's more of a randomness if you're going to die from a cave-in, rather than on your own accord because you made the mistake. It's that damn randomness. You can see I got cave-ins here. And I gotta blast myself back, and the entrance is blocked, so I gotta blast that one, and then we can finally get to the top and cash it in. And they give us our money at the top. There's no elevator in this one either. All right, so there you go. That's Gold Rush. Here's a peek of what the improved version looked like. Still by Joseph Weber. I don't know for sure if this was in the same issue or the same month of 1982, but it's pretty close. All right, we actually have a difficulty we can choose in this one. Let's go easy. That's true. We all won from the video game crash at some point. Thanks, Donkey Kong. Thanks, Pac-Man. Thanks, games we're going to see later. All right, so this is the Vic Gold Rush. We're still represented by the same diamond symbol. Press the fire button to blast. It looks like we've... What's the improvement? Okay, it looks like graphically it looks about the same, but it's still Gold Rush. Go in, get all the gold, and do you have the time to go to the top to cash it in or not? In a way, this looks and feels like most of the Commodore VIC-20 games. It's like there's a model that VIC-20 games were playing. Oh, we did it again. We died right on the first explosion. Maybe because we're too close to the top. But every time you play, it's a random map, which is a nice touch. And it does use the Commodore VIC-20 joystick, so I'm not having to fumble around using the keyboard. Oh, this is a nice, this is a nice maze I got. I'm just going to wander around and collect all the gold. So I'd say of all the games you could play at this time, this is, Gold Rush is around the average range, but not doing anything particularly impressive. I'm going to say subpar of all the games you could play. It's a fun idea, going around and blasting, picking up gold. I'll say 2.5 stars for Gold Rush. We also have Gold Rush on the Atari home computer as well. Same magazine from Compute. You type it in, and for the Atari version, this game simulates the appearance of the Vic using a custom character set in Graphics Mode 1. Only half the characters are needed to transfer to RAM. This game has extensive use of locate command to look for the computer screen as checking various objects of the miner finds. Also, unlike the Vic version, if you clear the mine of all the gold and start over with a new mine, you can cash in your gold, and you get 3 lives. Ooh, fancy. Let's type in and play Gold Rush, again by Joseph Weber in Compute Magazine at sometime in July 1982. Whatever time you decided to type it in. So in a way, it could have been around June of 1982, if you took long enough. That's true. This is kind of like a hybrid of that. I'd say the very first time we saw anything close to this kind of explosions was Warp and Warp in the arcades. Check that one out. It has a bomb mode, and it blew me away. Oh, there we go. You actually look like a person now. Very nice. Now, how's the explosions work? Okay, very good. Yep, same idea. This time the cash office looks like a $sign at the top. And you get to use the Atari VCS joystick. That's already a winner in my book. Who's with me? Who's fans of the joystick? The controller is really what can sell the game for you. Whatever one you like to hold in your hand. I knew people that they enjoyed Intellivision games, but they couldn't stand the Intellivision controller. All right, we make our way to the top. Cash it in. Nice. Get some more gold. Yeah, they're still pretty cool for the time. You know what? I'm actually going to give this one a nod because... Oh, it has a little ditty, and I die with a cross. That's pretty nice. Yeah, I think I'll go 3 stars on this one. Give this one an average. The VIC-20 feels like it's a typical VIC-20 game. This one still is around the average range of all the games you could play at the time. But still fun if you like to pick up gold. So you decide, when is it time to go to the tax office before we die? Or the asset office? And look, they keep the cross on the screen. Does it stay? Oh, okay. If you walk across it, it goes away. I thought it was going to keep track of all the places and times you died. Nice touch. Yeah. I'm with you, Manly is pretty good. For type-in games, too, you have to consider. It's really cool. All right, so I'd say of all the games you could play on a home computer, that's about 3 stars. Go for the Atari version if you're going to spend the time to type it in. Let's see what our next game is. We're now going to the United Kingdom and play our Sinclair ZX Spectrum. This is Hell Drivers. Hell Drivers is by Mike O'Neill at some time in July 1982. Hell Drivers just sounds like a cool name, so let's check it out. This one is keys. Get that spongy keyboard on the ZX Spectrum. We got A, K, Z, and M to move in and out, speed up and slow down, and we control the black car. All right, we're ready. Let's go. Oh my gosh, it's like the poor man's version of... It's the poor man's version of Head On. And I mean, like, really poor. Wow. Oh, they got me. Gosh. Very, very slow-paced. It feels like I'm not really driving a car. It feels like a slog. This is another variant, thanks to Head On or Dodge 'em, whatever you like better, that people are going to be copying, I think, till the end of time. And we've already seen other poor versions of Dodge 'em or Head... And this is the same one. Oh, gosh. Yeah, it's slow, it's clunky, it is keyboard only, no joystick, and it uses the 4 buttons, and you're on the ZX Spectrum keyboard. Yikes. Oh, yeah, I'm with you on the controllers I saw in the chat. All right, for all the games you can play, this one's down there, way down there. I'm going to go half star with Hell Drivers. That's pretty much broken, or almost as broken as it could be. So Hell Drivers is a fun experiment, but not a good game. Cool name, though. Let's see what our next game is. It's time to play on the TRS-80 color computer. This is Caterpillar Attack. That's Caterpillar with a K. Let's take a look at the artwork for Caterpillar Attack. So this is the ad you would have seen in magazines at the time. Tom Mix Software brings us Caterpillar Attack. Outstanding graphics and sound will end all those trips to the arcade. What? End the trips to the... No way. So much like the arcade, you'll have to see it to believe it. Wow, they're really selling you on that one. $24.95 it says here, with an example of the screenshot. We even have the manual too. Thank you, Color Computer Archive. This is by Anteco Software that did the manual. It's available on the TRS-80 Color Computer, the TDP System 100, and what is that? The Dragon 32? Never heard of it. It's coming out soon, though. Caterpillar is an arcade-type game using familiar household pests, caterpillars, spiders, bugs, and toadstools. It doesn't say centipede anywhere in here. A device or a cannon is used to enable the player to destroy these pests. Objects of the game is score more points by destroying the pest than previous players have scored, or more than previously scored. They could have worded that better. This is accompanied by utilizing the right joystick, firing the cannon to destroy the pest. The cannon will move horizontally across the bottom 2 rows of the screen. That's all you get, 2 rows. Oh, I see, they did the cartridge version. Thank you so much, Curtis. So the cannon will fire vertically from top to bottom. It's like they're explaining Centipede, but they just can't say Centipede. Place the cassette in the tape recorder to press the play button to load. Got it. Press the fire device on the joystick to begin the game. The screen will display a look of various pests you're out to destroy. They don't say anything about Centipede. You have outstanding skill and a bit of luck, you'll be able to clean the house. Your current score is displayed in happy hunting with a warranty at the bottom. So whether it's on cartridge, whether it's on disc or cassette, let's pop it and play Caterpillar Attack by R-Crots and S-Crots of Tom Mix Software. Maybe they did do the artwork. It wouldn't surprise me. Oh man, I love the green glow. Let's load it. They're starting to do more machine language. The last few color computer games have been only machine language. They're learning. We still see a few basic games every now and then on other computers. There we go. Yes, by R&S Crots. Let's see what you got, Crots. All right, so of all the games we've seen up to this point as far as Centipede variants, at least on the TRS-80 Color Computer, we've already seen some. There's already been some good ones. There's been... Actually, I think this is one of our first ones of the Centipede variants. The fixed shooters have been close to a Centipede game, but this is actually the first real copy that you could play on the TRS-80 Color Computer. The first official Centipede was on the Atari 800 already that we played, and of course in July 1981 is when Centipede was released. So this is the 1-year anniversary. So 1 year since Centipede arrived in the arcades, we got Caterpillar Attack. Oh yes, the vertical motion. Yeah, you only get 2 rows whenever you play this one. Yeah, limited vertical movement. It's also missing the scorpion when you play this. But this is the very first time you can play something that really looks and plays like Centipede. Oh, and nice touch. All you got to do is push the button on the joystick, and you're ready to go. Gives you your point score. Got a little ditty when we start. Nice. So here we go. At the bottom of the screen, I love the analog controls. That's pretty nice. So I got 2 rows to work with, and when it's time to fire, yeah, holding it down works the same as on Centipede. So even though, yeah, there's no scorpion that's causing problems, but you can see that it moves pretty much like as close as you can to Centipede. But except that vertical movement, you don't have a lot of range down at the bottom. I also have noticed that the caterpillar itself has some glitches where it'll lock itself in mushrooms and won't be able to get out. I mean, look at this. If you had a Coco, this is the closest thing you got to Centipede to play. If you're a big fan. Oh, it doesn't change color, though. It's the color computer. And we're not changing color on the Centipede, or at least level by level. At this point, we played countless Centipede variants on other home computers like the Atari 800, the Apple II, and so forth. So there's been lots of other ones out there that we could play. Oh, there you go. I did change the color. Maybe we got to go a little further. Oh, yeah. That's probably why. It's tile-based. Yeah. It seems like a missed opportunity, though. We're on the color computer. Why not change the color per level? But I got to tell you, I dig the joystick. The analog controls for this are pretty good, despite it being tile-based. If they didn't do that, then this would have been a really smooth game. There we go. Yeah, and it repeats ad nauseam. So, yeah, there we go. It's glitching. So look in the top left. See the centipede or caterpillar glitching out? All right, so there you go. If you've seen the channel and you've caught up to us at this point, what would you say for Caterpillar? Caterpillar with a K. Of all the games you could play, I still say it's a good time on a home computer, but there's a lot of other ones out there that could be better. Could be around the 3-star or average range of all the games that you could play. Yeah, that's true. It doesn't change colors. Later Centipedes clones are going to do that. We've already seen other ones. Some of the best ones have been on the VIC-20 and the Atari home computer. Yeah, Errol's going 3. I feel the same way too. It's about 3 stars. The simplicity though, but a good shooter, a solid shooter to play. I'm impressed with Tom Mix. Yeah, there we go. Yeah, oh, the shot sound effect. All right, so that's Caterpillar Attack. Let's see where we're going now. Our next game is on the Atari home computer. This is Meltdown. Let's take a look at Meltdown, starting with the box. Meltdown is not to be confused with the Meltdown we saw by APX. That was a completely different game, played more like Donkey Kong. This one plays like another arcade game. This is by Cosme. Meltdown, also called Meltdown at Megalopolis. 10 different screens and 10 skill levels and 10 different screens. Available both on disc and cassette. Arcade quality fast action. It's the middle of the night at the Megalopolis nuclear power generating plant. In the stillness of the control room, all hell's broken loose. 8 lights above, the 5 reactor and monumental machinery surrounding them. Went terribly wrong. The coolant system is failing. The cores are boiling dry, and unless tremendous heat of the nuclear reactor can be dispersed, the reactors may begin to melt. Your job is to save the day. And then we have the 5 1/4 floppy disk. You'd pop in your Atari. It only says 400 and 800, but we're already seeing some games say it's for the 1200. Atari 1200. That's exactly the 3 Mile Island incident. Obviously, is a big impact on culture, and we've already seen several games that want you to do either a nuclear reactor simulator or something with nuclear reaction. The other Meltdown by APX was the same way. All right, so beside that, we also have the manual for Meltdown at Megalopolis. A 10-level, exciting, challenging game in 16K. Wow, and only in 16K for 10 levels? When you see the game, it's even more impressive. So it's the middle of the night. Our assignment is reach the reactor in time, remove the uranium rods, return them to safety. You must evade layers of radioactive mist and clouds, dash through a corridor containing bolts of atomic energy, and then through a series of moving rooms, most of which disappear after you exit, until you reach the reactors. Here you enter the containment chamber, extract the rods, and move them to the lead safety vault by returning through the same hazardous course. Deactivate all 5 reactors, and you get 10 different screens with 10 levels of difficulty. Wow, 10 screens! That's pretty good for a home computer on 16K. Oh, there it is. For this manual, they have the Atari 400, the Atari 800, or the 1200 XL. It is brand new. And to load the program, we'll breeze by the cassette and disc version. You have to have the joystick to play. This is I think it's 2-player, but it's alternate play, so you can't play at the same time. After the program's loaded, you'll see the title screen. It has the option to do 1 or 2-player, and then you're now set in the mode to go. Press the select button or reset to change the options. Commence the game, whatever you choose. As the game begins, a manual will appear at the bottom of the screen. Your assignment is get him to safely go to the nuclear containment chambers at the top and remove the reactive uranium rods, return them safely to the bottom. Each time you perform this feat successfully, the reactor you enter will disappear and the horizontal temperature gauge will decline and give you some additional time. Complete this assignment with all 5 reactors before the temperature reaches 5,200 degrees Fahrenheit, and you'll be off to the next level and 5 new reactors. Complete all 10 levels, and you've saved Megalopolis. You move your player safely through 3 layers of radioactive mist and clouds. Touch anything in the area, and you are incinerated. Whoa. And it tells you about all the different chambers and obstacles you're going to come across, and then a game hint. The reactors on either edge of the screen are the most difficult to enter or exit. Try to get them first before you've lost too many moving chambers. End of the game will be over if you lose all your players or allow temperature gauge at the bottom to reach 5,200 degrees Fahrenheit. Got to know what the scores are, bonus players, what the option key, select key, and start key does, and the display. And if you can't load the program, man, you got to do a lot of troubleshooting back then. It wasn't easy. You couldn't just go on the internet. programmable biography. Hey, this is by Robert T. Bonifacio. At 17, he's already designed the second computer game, the bestseller following Aztec Challenge. And this is Meltdown. All right, here we go. You can see that manual was from 1983, so we're going to play the very first time you ever could play it. Let's pop in and play Meltdown by Robert Tegel Bonifacio. Published by Cosme, and then later in 1984 by US Gold. Whoa, it was $850 for the 1200 XL? Yikes, even now. That's amazing. Okay, so we are going to do one player and start us up. I'm at the bottom of the screen. I am the player-looking character at the bottom. This, ladies and gentlemen, is another Frogger variant, but it takes a lot of liberties. What you need to do is cross to the other side. Every time you cross one of those tiles, it disappears. Oh, did we get crapped out? Oh, we did. Darn. It dropped out on us. The difference here is, after you get to the top of the screen, that's not where you get the points. You have to get down and back again. Now I have to get the rod from the top reactor and then make my way back. I've already wasted a lot, so I gotta go all the way back to the beginning again. So it's not just going down or going to the top like Frogger. You go to the top, grab a control rod, and then come back down the way you came. And the platforms slowly go away over time. I'm going to do what they said in the hint book. Okay, and then make my way back. Nice and easy. There we go, got 2 down. So this is the first of 10 screens. I was not aware of that. I mean, think about this. This was Frogger, and the only official Frogger we've seen at home is on the computers in Japan. And it's really not like Frogger. It's not very good. Alright, we gotta make our way down. I think I've already erased too many of the platforms, so notice every time you touch them, it goes away as they scroll across the screen. Quickly. Okay, there we go. 2 left to go. The movement of the character isn't as smooth as what you'd expect. You notice how I'm jumping very large from place to place? Okay, I made it to here. I don't know if I'm going to be able to get the last one, because they disappeared. Really cool gameplay mechanic, though. We've already seen other Frogger variants that you could play at home. I would say one of the best ones so far has been Pacific Coast Highway. It is 2-player simultaneous Frogger. It's awesome. Oh, go, go, go. Alright, there we go. 1 to go. And bear in mind, this is still just the first screen. Alright, here we go. Let's see if we can do this. No! I just sacrificed myself because I knew it was going to fly across. There's a lightning bolt that happens. Oh, and look at the timer on the bottom left. We're running out of time. I got to get over there quickly, or the whole thing goes down. Quickly, quickly. Is that only 1 platform at the top? Okay, there's 2. I should have gone for it then. Let's do the wraparound. Go for this one, and then I'm going to have to try... Yeah, I think we got it. How am I going to make my way back, though, is the question. Alright, looks like the M's stay where they are. The other ones disappear. Very different than Frogger with the turtles that sometimes allow you to have a platform and then sometimes do not. Alright, here we go. Hopefully nothing kills me on the way. And now you're in the middle of this tunnel and know that it's going to happen. Yes! There we go. Oh, okay, so when they say second screen, we're on the second screen. It's adding just a little bit of complexity. So it's very similar to Frogger, adding the snakes or different paths or alligators and so forth. But wow, look how much more complex this screen is than the first one. Okay, let's do it a little smarter now. Now that I know that the M pad is going to stay, I could wait around for the M pad every time. Oh, and if you go to the sides, then you die as well. Wow. Alright, I love Frogger. I love Frogger variants. This one's pretty good. This one's original. It is still fun to play, and it's adding a lot of different things to make you feel like it's kind of like Frogger. The only thing, if I had to have a nitpick, it'd be that whenever you move around, you kind of jerk to it. There's no animation to it. It feels like it's not as smooth as it could have been. But still, for the time, Meltdown's awesome. We have the only official Frogger in Japanese computers, so there is no, like, Cornsoft Group hasn't made Frogger, or there hasn't been Sierra bringing Frogger home. So, and there's nothing on consoles yet that's the official Frogger. So I'd say of all the games you could play up to this point, this is a great game. Above average for sure. I'm actually going to go 4 stars because of the originality and because of how fresh this idea is. Oh, that's true. Activision. Well, what do you mean, Freeway Activision? Or the actual Frogger clone that Activision did? Oh, yes. Yeah, I like the things they did differently as well. All right, so let's see what our next game is after Meltdown. We're back on the TRS-80 color computer. This is Pac-Maze. Oh, yes, Frostbite. We're going to be seeing that one later. All right, let's take a look at... Oh, the artwork we have for Pac-Maze is just a few screenshots, so let's pop it and play some Pac-Maze. At sometime in July 1982. This is another machine language game. They're learning. Yeah, I love it, Manly. If it was a frog, well, I don't know. Maybe they're trying to get out of hot water because the legal disputes were coming all over the place. Okay, so how do we go in this one? Oh, it's Pac-Man, yes! Whoa, the controls feel clunky as hell. It feels sticky. We went from these awesome analog controls when we played the Caterpillar attack, and then we go to this one, and man, it's rough. It feels like molasses. Yeah, they don't translate very well at all for this one. Or it's not as responsive. I wonder if there's keyboard control so I don't have to use the joystick. They did? Oh my gosh. It's also very limited on sound. There's very, very small pips whenever it makes the sound of hitting the dots you pick up. And notice how the top warp is at the top and bottom rather than on the sides. Almost like, was it Catrax on the Emerson Arcade? No, Catrax had the warps on the side as well. And we're already game over too. Wow, that's a pretty much clunky mess. And yeah, the color palette. It's the TRS-80 color computer. They have other colors to choose from. We've seen better color on the TRS-80 color computer. Why? Why did you choose this one? Maybe they were doing it for their daughter and wanted to get some Easter colors. Come on. Yes, this Pac-Man decides to move whenever he wants to move. I wanted to try out the... Oh yeah, no way. And whenever you die, it's not a big fanfare. It's just, nope, you're done. That's it. Well, at this point, the TRS-80 color computer has already had 3 fairly average Pac-Man variants. Cave Hunter, Ghost Gobbler, and Scarfman, to name a few. If I had to pick of those 3, which one would be my favorite, I say Ghost Gobbler would be the best so far you could play as Pac-Man variant. Yeah, this one's pretty terrible. Yikes. I gotta say, for Pac-Maze, that's low. That's a bad game. It is not up there with the likes of Ghost Gobbler, at least on the TRS-80 color computer, but you have to think of every other home computer and all the other Pac-Man variants that have been out there. I mean, think of the Atari home computer and think of Ghost Hunter. This one puts it to shame, like, yeah, 2 at best. I'm with you. I'm gonna go even lower. I'm gonna say 1.5. It's rough on the eyes. It's rough on the controls. There's barely any sound. It in a way, if you had the Coco and this was the game that you wanted to play something with Pac-Man, I could see you getting some enjoyment out of it because it has the maze top-down pellets, but it would be rough. It would still be rough. Yeah, 1.5 stars is my vote this time. All right, let's see what our next game is. We're back on the Sinclair ZX Spectrum. This is Secret Valley. Secret Valley is a rare and hard to find game. Take a look at the box. The box looks like somebody just did it themselves. That puts Richard Garriott to shame. Old Lord British doing his handmade boxes of a Calibeth. And then I found this ad inside of Your Computer from September of 1982. I'm sorry, not an ad. This is the review. So this is how Your Computer did their fast reviews. Check it out. Space Intruders, high quality. Invaders, Worm, addictive yet simple. Golf, badly written, poorly debugged. Bomber, a bad version of a good idea. Alien Command, far too slow. Secret Valley, which we're about to play, has potential, sound is poor. And that's the review. I need to start doing my reviews like this magazine in 1982. You can see it only went for £5 though. That's pretty nice. And there's the example of the screenshot. That's what it looks like. It looks like a doodle on a notebook. And I think we have, yeah, some different versions. This will work on the 16K version of the ZX Spectrum. Let's pop in the cassette and play by Newsoft Products, Secret Valley at sometime in July 1982. What is thy given name? Chrono. Chrono the Wizard. Monster Fodder. They already give us a title. All right. Oh, gosh. They already have a loud beep. All right, so we want to go north, south, east, or west. Let's go south. You are not safe in the forests. A place of ancient power. Nice. It sounds like we're flatlining every time we end a turn, though. Let's go south again. You're not safe in the forests. We found a ruby necklace, though. Nice touch. All right. And let's go south again. Beware of sprites and kraken. Are we in the ocean? All right, let's head east. You're not safe on the plains. Luck at last. A spell stone. Chrono the Wizard. We got 35 treasure. Monster kills. Okay, spell stones. Nice. So I guess that's treasure. All right, now this game is playing very similar to other games we've seen, not just on the ZX Spectrum, but other places. One of them in particular was the Black Crystal, and the other one was the Valley, where you're essentially moving around in a role-playing setting, very limited role-playing, and as you move around, everything is happening random. So when you make your moves, it's randomly going to tell you what's happening on that space. So as far as attacking other enemies, it really doesn't happen here. Yeah, I can see what they said about sound effects were pretty bad. All right, let's head east. Again, we're not safe on the plains. We're not safe anywhere. Okay, doesn't say what's next. Let's go ahead and head south. Beware of sprites and kraken. A trove of gleaming diamonds. Well, we're getting lucky for this one. And let's go south again. You are lost in... Oh, you're in trouble now. Your approach has been tasted by a wyvern. Do we want to attack or retreat? Let's attack. Sword, magic, or bribe. I love this. How they tell you can bribe. Yeah, let's try bribing the wyvern. What we're going to do on all role-playing games now is wax the chest, get the charisma up, and then bribe. To bribe the monster, you will have to offer 500 gold pieces. Yes. Thou hast not the wherewithal. Oh, so we don't have enough money. Darn, our wax chest did not help us this time. Okay, so we'll do sword. So you're going to attack with a bribe? I guess that just means you're not running away. A smashing blow. It swings at you and misses. Weaker. You missed it. At least it's not having us do timed attacks where we have to hit the button at the right time, but we cannot spam the button or that won't work. Look at all this. It's scripting out all the attacks. Success. The wyvern is slain. Beware there are other monsters nearby. Chrono the Wizard, monsters killed 1. We killed the wyvern with a sword. That's right, we did. This is the luckiest we've been in these kind of role-playing games the entire channel. Yes, and we're not safe with headphones on. Gosh, every time you end a turn, it's like you flatline. Okay, let's go ahead and head south again. All may be lost in the Grey Keep. Even though the Grey Keep is obviously magenta. Let's keep going south. Through the Grey Keep. Your approach has been heard by a hobgoblin. Do we want to attack him? Yes! Let's attack the hobgoblin. This is all dice rolls, by the way. It's all random. There's really... I feel like I'm not doing any skill to play this game. It's just... sometimes it may be a good experience. Sometimes it may not. Let's sword this sucker. This does play better than the other ones that needed a timed attack where you had to hit the button at the right time. This one is just... It just plays out. And it's just totally random. Yeah, that's true. It is totally random. A smashing blow. A desperate PSI blast. In a way, I feel like these games, this style of role-playing games, is a small step backwards considering the other role-playing games we've seen. I would consider this less than the Dungeon Quest series or the Star Quest series. And it's not nearly close to, obviously, Wizardry or Ultima. Those are like setting the bar for what role-playing games should be. All right, there you go. There's an example of the Secret Valley. We found the Secret Valley. We played the Secret Valley. It's not much of a good Secret Valley. I'm going to think this is still a bad title considering the other games you could play. It is unique that you can go in as a role-playing experience and you know what's going to happen when you play, but the randomization just brings it down. I'm going to say because of the other games we've seen so far, this is either a 1.5 or 2-star game. Yeah, very random, I saw in the chat. So, Secret Valley, I bid you adieu. We'll give you 1.5 stars. Oh, Victor, you're too kind. Maybe we should bump it up because we had so good of luck that time. All right, after Secret Valley, let's see our next game. It's time to head to the arcades in Japan and play some Sky Army. Let's take a look at the advertisement flyer for Sky Army, if it's the real Sky Army advertising. This isn't the advertisement flyer you've been looking for. This is by Shoei. Shoei. I'm not sure how you pronounce it, but this is the third game we've seen by this company, or at least published by this company. The first two we've seen have been Space Intruder and Streaking. That's right, the company that brought you Streaking brings you Sky Army. There's a terrible picture of the arcade cabinet. Over here, right above my shoulder, is the instructions that you would have seen in Japan of how to play Sky Army, right on top of the arcade PCB. We have an 8-way joystick. We got 2 buttons to fire and to bomb. This is 2 players, but you don't get to play at the same time. It's alternate play. I'm with you on that. Yep, Curtis, that's the reason I did 1.5. If the sound was a little better, just like the magazine review said, I would have bumped it up. All right, let's go to the arcades and play some Sky Army. At sometime in July 1982. And let's switch it out so you can see the cool logo. And we'll see what the attract mode has for us. This looks like we're playing on the same screen, but it actually scrolls. Your mission, kill enemy transport heli. Then go to your base and construct your bridge. Got it. Check and double check. All right, let's put a coin in. And go. Now, in enemies, kill. Bridge completion causes your death. All right, did everybody get that? Don't let them complete this bridge, in other words. So you get to play as a helicopter. Yeah, don't let them finish the bridge. If they finish the bridge, we die, it said. So we got 2 modes of attack. We can shoot across or straight down. I have a little bit of firepower. I can shoot more than I'm used to. Multiple going down or up. I got a random jet that comes by. And right now it seems pretty simple. We're on one screen, shoot them up. Yes, now we go to our base. So now it switches to a side-scrolling game. And now we've gone into what feels like scramble mode. Because we're shooting across and we're bombing down. Possibly got inspiration by one of those. Scramble, Super Cobra, Mariner. It had to have been something. Because it plays very similar. Notice we have a really, really slight parallax scroll. Oh, get the Yellow Submarine! Was it playing the Yellow Submarine song? I think it was. I kind of didn't want to blow up the enemy. I got points for him, so sorry, buddy. I had to blow up the Beatles. It is the bridge over River Kwai. Yep, I can hear it now in the background. We have yet to see an arcade game that has this mechanic of a bridge that you have to keep from being built. We're not really involved with the building of the bridge. We're still just shooting stuff. Oh my gosh, they have clouds firing down electricity on it. It's the evil auto of Sky Army. Yeah, it's the cloud. The cloud is totally... Let's try this again. Can we go in? Oh, nice. High score. Oh, the A-Way joystick doesn't allow us to go down. Okay. Yep, you gotta scroll all the way to the end. Your name has been registered. Now, can we continue? Yes, within 14 seconds. Oh, so cool. So we can start where we left off on the scrolling, right? Yeah, that's the way to go. we don't get revenge on the lightning, though. Can we kill the lightning? Oh, we can just fly low, I see. Oh, yep, I had to kill the beetles again. I don't think it was... I think it was the Bridge over River Kwai song the entire time, so no Yellow Submarine. Now in yours, construct bridge. So this means we are not destroying the guy at the bottom. Yeah, okay, so everybody in red is on our team. Oh, because our helicopter's red. I got it. And we need to get them to build the bridge across. Well, go, bridge, build, go. What are you doing? Do you need, like, skies cleared or something, buddy? I don't know what's happening. Maybe if we fall on the bridge, it'll help them build it. It also gives us the ability to attack the... Am I supposed to drop it down? Now I'm wondering what exactly the song is. If they are pulling from public domain, it could be anything. Oh my gosh, if you run into the tree, you explode. Well, I guess that makes sense. Any other game when we've touched the walls, we die. Same here in Sky Army. Oh, wow. Yeah, let me try to see if I can pick it up, because when I did the play testing for this, it just worked. They were building it, and I just kept it defending. Let's try to pick up the piece. And we can continue where we left off. I got a happy bear. Can we touch this? We try to go fly up, and they fire us up. Okay, let's go, go, go. Touch it. Yes, we are constructing a bridge. What? Awesome. Okay, so now I understand. That's pretty cool. At the same time, you have to fire, destroy the enemies. There we go, got it. Okay, drop it down. Good. Build it up, dude. I'll be here for a while. Oh, no, no, no. Don't do that. Okay, quick, come back, come back, come back. So you'll be doing a lot of shooting, obviously, you can see. Before you get the other bridge piece to come down. Another game over. Yeah, let's keep going. Interesting. And it seems I can't pick up the piece unless certain enemies have been destroyed. So you... There we go. You're going to be shooting a lot, and if you keep playing, or you got enough money, you can just keep building. Notice they gave us a checkpoint. The piece that we already built is complete. Alright, let's see. We can make it already down. And you have to fly carefully. Feels very different. Playing a shooter, usually you're a little more reckless, not having to be careful on the landing. Wow, that jet came out of nowhere. I love the arcade games, though, that save where you left off. Nice and easy. There you go. Okay, give me that piece. Come on, let's go. Why are you waiting? Hurry! We have to build the bridge. Well, I gotta hand it to Shoei. If you're playing this in the arcades, you're gonna put down a lot of money because you tell yourself, I'm gonna finish that bridge. Put in some more money in the arcade. We can do it because it continues to. Every time you get a piece down, it's gonna save that as the checkpoint. Anything? Alright, come on, give me the piece. Why are you taking so long? I need a new team. Red team sucks. Come on, fly out here, let's go. What are you waiting for? Thank you. Good, build it up. Wow, I don't know how I did that one. Come on, give me the piece. Go, 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 go. Okay, good. We're making progress here. You know, I enjoy a game that I can't really describe. It's a shooter, but it's also a building construction, a helicopter building construction. So it's a fresh idea, or it's a take that I've never seen before. It's different. Okay, give me the piece. Thank you. It still allows you to shoot it too, which is cool. Oh my gosh, it didn't drop. Well, that's probably my clunkiness. But in a way you can tell that there's some things with the hit detection that feel a little off. I'll just blame myself though for that one. There we go. So of all the games you see in the arcade though, it is a fresh idea. It's still essentially a shooter, but it's doing something a little different. So if you went to the arcades and actually played this, considering everything else we played, it doesn't feel like a Golden Age arcade game. It feels like a little off. Something's different about this one, but not necessarily for the good. It almost feels like you're doing a job, not playing a fun game to score points. So yes, we have seen streaking, yes. If you want to see the links down below, all we do is breeze by it because anything involving nudity or adult-only content, we're just kind of going by it. Yeah, I'm looking at the chat now for all the star ratings. We got 3 or 3.5. Yeah, I'm willing to go 3.5 because of doing something new. I say 3.5 of all the games you could play in an arcade. And yes, Satan's Hollow we have not seen yet. I don't know what Satan's Hollow is, but we will be seeing that very soon. All right, let's see what our next game is. We are leaving the arcades. It's time to go back home on the Atari home computer and play Slime. Let's take a look at Slime, starting with the box. This is by Synapse Software, and I think I got a 3D one, right? Yeah, there we go. We got the cartridge inside. Slime looks like we are... Actually, this is a really good representation of what you're doing in the game, of how you fire and shoot. Nice logo, too. Over a sea of slime. Flip it over the back. This game requires joysticks. And can you prevail against the Invincibles, absorbers of the deadly slime? Only your superbly trained task force can stop the Invincibles and spell the difference between survival and gruesome annihilation. And I'll explain more when we get to the manual. Yes, we have played Atari today. Actually, I don't think we played Atari today. Have you played Atari today? Let's see the other arc we have for Slime. We have played Atari home computer. Here's the ad, or one of the ads you would have seen by Synapse Software at the time. A game for all seasons. Of all the games here on this ad, I highly recommend Nautilus if you haven't played that. It's pretty cool. It's the top of the top. Chicken's all right too. And the other ones we haven't seen yet, but we are going to see. Synapse delivers some pretty good ones. This is the inside sleeve of the story of the game. You need 24K memory and joysticks to play. The Omega Peace Accords have been violated by the Plexarian Invincibles. Their biotransporters had warped into the Earth's atmosphere and threatened total destruction. The ground trembles and nature rebels. As wave after wave of slime oozes from the heavens, the diabolical alien plan is to raise the level of the Earth's oceans and drown out all life so that the slime-breathing Invincibles can colonize. The Terran Alliance has hastily constructed Gamma Tube absorbers and had planted them in the Saragossa Sea, the entry point of the Plexarian invasion. All that's left of the Earth's defenses is your fleet of Electro-Wedge deflector warships and the absorbers. Can your fleet prevail against the Invincibles? Will the absorbers contain the deadly slime? Only your superbly trained task force can stop them. Did anyone follow that? That was crazy. And there's the cartridge if you had it in your hand to play some Slime, or the 5 1/4 floppy disk, if that's how you want to play. Oh yes, and we haven't seen Seamus yet. We will be seeing that one. This, ladies and gentlemen, is the very first game that I could find that utilizes the trackball controller for Atari. Well, I mean, on the Atari home computer. Missile Command said it does, I've heard it does work, or supposed to work, but I haven't confirmed that. But this one does work. I have confirmed it. This will work with the trackball controller. So I wanted to show you of the new control scheme, or what you could be playing for this game. Check that out. And not to be confused with what's going to happen later on the Super System or the Atari 5200. And we also have the cassette we're going to pop in, and the other example of the 5 1/4 floppy disk. Yes, Omega Race, the game, was supposed to keep the peace. And now we got Slime. I love it. Let's take a look at the manual for Slime by Steve Hales. Way to go, Steve. If you have cassette, make sure you got 24K. Start the game. Object of the game is twofold. The first is protecting your deflector warship. The second is to channel the slime that's falling from the heavens into the gamma tube absorbers. The two tubes sunk into the ocean on both sides of the screen. As each level progresses, the slime that falls into the ocean causes the level of the ocean and hence your warship to rise. This in turn makes the deflector warship much more susceptible to the intense lightning storms that are generated when Plexarian saucers seed the clouds with embryonic slime. Whoa! Who was taking the acid trip to write this? In order to prevent the slime from destroying your ship or causing the oceans to rise, you must create wedge sluices to deflect the slime and wedge shields to protect your ship. There are 50 slime storms you have to survive in order to win the game. Oh my gosh, if you last that long. If you have a joystick, you can mark the deflector wedges by positioning the mark and pressing the trigger. This will fire a wedge from the warship and it will appear in the space under the mark. If you want to make diagonal sluices or horizontal shields, you have to keep the joystick trigger depressed as you move it to the desired direction. If you want to use the trackball, yeah, it tells you in the manual too. You press T and it'll start the trackball mode. And you can use the trackball to move it around because this game in one sense is kind of similar to Missile Command or a command shooter where you're moving a cursor around the screen. The slime created by the alien saucer when it seeds the clouds with embryonic slime nurdles. Upon maturing, this slime, by virtue of its increased weight, begins to ooze down. The slime must be prevented by touching the warship. Even a single drop will destroy the ship. I don't really follow. Your warship rides on the open sea or slime. It's influenced by the prevailing winds and tides, and it drifts side to side. So you don't have control over your ship at the bottom. Your ship is just going to move back and forth as the game goes. You'll only be controlling of the cursor. There's a helicopter that will appear when Plexarian Plug has sealed one of your absorbers, and make sure that the chopper is not hit by any slime drops or fireballs. It'll plug it for you. He's going to help us out, in other words. So it tells us how to use the option button and the start button to play, and if you want to play as trackball, and it explains the wedges, which is a completely new concept, something that's involving gravity and a shooter game. It is very ambitious. Plexarian saucers are worth 1,000 points. They are fast and clever. Not only do they seed the clouds with embryonic slime, they also attack your position wedges in order to create gaps for the descending slime to ooze through. The seeding saucer appears at the start of each round and flies into a cloud layer to do the dirty work. And the Plexarians have also recently manufactured a gamma tube retardant, which they fashioned into a plug for the gamma tubes. The saucer carries these plugs and tries to plug up the tube absorbers so the slime cannot be neutralized. You may destroy these plugs by positioning a wedge in the plug's path of travel or by directly hitting it with a wedge. And there's fireballs too? Good night. This game has so many things going for it. And then we have playing hints like most games by Atari. Nice job, Synapse Software. And then the legal mumbo jumbo, and then what you saw on the back of the manual. All right, let's pop in and play Slime by Steve Hales, published by Synapse Software at some time in July 1982. Yes, Synapse Software made some really good stuff. Nautilus blew me away. I couldn't believe how good that is. Oh, we have a song too. Nice. Bring on the music. And you gotta admit, the presentation is still top-notch. For a home computer game, Synapse Software is going places. Look at that. Oh, look, and they're even advertising the other games. Protector 2, Nautilus. Yeah, way to go. That's the way to do it. All right, prepare yourself, Carbon Unit 1. I'm going to start with the base mode. If you play this with multiple people, then it's going to be alternate play. So you can actually choose up to 4 people to play if you wanted to. Uh-oh. Nope, not good. One of them fell down, entering a new slime storm. So the ship at the bottom is moving on its own accord. I don't control that. All I control is the cursor on the screen, which would play really well if I had the trackball. I'm playing with joystick now, and the idea is you try to get all the slime to fall down into the tubes on the right side. You can also fire your shots directly on the slime and then just destroy it. You don't get as many points for that, though. You're trying to get it to fall down into the tubes. Alright, let's see if we can make a nice little... There. I'll just destroy that one. Can it fall? Oh, it can't get stuck. Okay. Nice animation, though, on the slime. It's really, really slick. And this concept is another one of those games that I couldn't explain as well as other ones because it's so unique. It's a combination of we're playing a fixed shooter and missile command, but we're also having to divert an object into another place. But the clunkiness of the control, the cursor doesn't feel very smooth, and even if I did have the trackball, this isn't moving. I don't know if it's hard to describe. The joystick is making me feel like as I move the cursor around, I'm having it stops at a certain point, like it's only hitting certain pixels instead of smoothly moving around. Gotcha. You got really fast reflexes on that one. Warning, entering new slime storm. So if you get a direct hit on the slime, it destroys it. If you shoot an empty space... Oh, does it get the ship? Yeah, it can mess up our cursor if the slime hits us. And if you hit anything else, then you'll just make your own platform. But it's not very accurate. Like as I move around trying to put it where I want to, it feels jerky. It feels like I'm not able to put it exactly where I would want. Go. Good. And you see, as you go on, the platforms go away, and you need to be quick to get them to go in. Yeah, it's hard to move the right way, and you know that the ship that's at the bottom, you don't control. It just happens to go that way. All of those, again, are games that I have no idea what you're talking about, Victor. Or I'll pretend I don't know what you're talking about. Yes, and we haven't seen Threadfall yet, so this is the first one to do an idea like this. However, diverting things in other places is not a new concept. There's a game we played called Girders, I believe by Taito in the arcades, that was essentially Lemmings. So if you get a chance to check the links for all the games we've ever played, do a search for Lemmings variants, and we've already seen something similar in the arcade. Gotcha. Yeah, I'm with you on that, Errol. This is not up to par with the other releases by Synapse. It's not as clear on how to do what you're supposed to do in the game, and it's not the execution for how the cursor moves around isn't very well done. I will nod them though for allowing you to use the trackball, but even with the trackball, look at how clunky it is. It's not as smooth of an affair. I'd like to know for sure if with the trackball it was a completely different experience and you didn't have this same control. And reviews at the time were not kind to Slime, complaining about the controls, the slowness of the game, how it was. It seemed you couldn't divert the slime whenever you wanted to, or put the wedges wherever you wanted to. Yeah. Oh, 4 rating. Yeah, graphics and sound. You can tell the presentation is still way above par. Synapse Software is good for that. But I'd say of all the games we've seen so far, Slime is not really hitting any marks higher than something above average, just because of the control scheme. I like the idea, I like the originality, and I love games that I can't really describe very well. It's something new, and this one feels like something new, which is kind of nice. All right, so any other ratings we got for Slime before we close the door? I'm going to go 3.5 stars for Slime. 3.5-ish. Yeah, we only do half-star ratings. A lot of these games, there's sometimes I would want to do a quarter or even an eighth of a rating if I could. But we're just going to do pretty generic just to have an idea of what's really good out there and what's really bad out there. All right, we got to put our video game playing on pause. Keep going with all the games in 1982. Tune in next episode for the latest issue of Softline magazine and all the games that start with space in July of 1982. That's it for today, and like I always say, you can't have an excellent game without an excellent controller. Hey everybody, thanks for checking out the channel and joining me on my quest to play every single video game in order of release. We'll be streaming live every weekday at 9 p.m. Central, so join us and let us know if you miss any games along the way. This video would not be possible without Launchbox, RetroArch, and MAME. Tell all your friends there's some crazy guy named Chronologically Gaming trying to play every single video game. We have links down below that'll send you to places like our Discord and Patreon, and one that says all the video games we've ever played. If you go there, it's a list of everything, and you can click right to the game you want to see. Chronologically Gaming is the name to look for. We are Perpetually Retro, and we will catch you next time.